It's quite remarkable how easy it is to pay attention to not feeling good. And it's one of the things that I've observed is that the better you feel in general, the more something really tiny can disturb that good feeling. It's really quite ridiculous when you look at it. I remember talking with my sister about this, and it's something that she had observed as well. So if generally your body feels really healthy, just a tiny little pain will immediately draw your attention. But if you have a bigger pain, let's say you've got a headache, that tiny little pain won't draw your attention because your attention will go to the headache. And if you've got a really bad pain, your attention won't go to the headache because it'll go to the really bad pain. And so it seems like pain makes a noise. It creates a disturbance in our life. Now, that's not a bad thing because it actually helps us to change direction. Especially the worse pain gets, the more it pushes us to look for a solution to the pain and to look for a way of feeling better. It's not really a bad thing that that happens. And I guess we could be grateful for the fact that actually when you're really feeling pretty good, little things can disturb you because those little things will say, hey, you could feel even better. And so draw your attention to feeling better and better. But one of the things I notice is that it's quite easy to kind of get a little bit stuck in just not feeling great and feeling slightly disappointed that you're not feeling great, but paying more attention to not feeling great than to making the choice to feel good. Because this is the point, it's a choice. And the ego can get quite attached to that not feeling good. And it feels almost like it's trying to hold you there. And you, with your consciousness, need to make that choice. It's not an easy choice. It's not a choice where you just say, well, of course I want to feel good. I'll do anything to feel good. For most people, there's a kind of default position of tolerating not feeling that great and tolerating being really in our lower self rather than our higher self. It's like, okay, well, that's pretty normal. And we build up this tolerance. I can really see that in myself, just probably from years when I was younger, of not really feeling good and not having any idea how to feel good. And even today, I still need to be conscious of the fact that I can make a choice to feel really good rather than to feel averagely good. So it's very different. If I feel really bad, then it's easier to take action because it becomes urgent. Nobody wants to feel really bad. But if you feel okay, you feel quite okay, so there's nothing really wrong, that can be the hardest place because you don't feel the urgency about feeling good. But actually, really it's urgent to feel good. Feeling good makes so much difference. Enjoying and being happy are the natural fertilizer that grow all your wishes, that create a really positive environment for everything in your life to grow favorably. So enjoyment, happiness, feeling good, they are the key. Once you have defined or accepted something that you want, really put yourself up, put your hand up and said, yes, I really want to experience this in my life. Enjoying, feeling happy, feeling good, that those are the feelings that create the circumstances in your life where manifestation happens most easily. So it's quite extraordinary, really, that we can tolerate not feeling as good as we might when feeling good is so powerful and so simple. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and she said she'd had a big meltdown last week. And after that, she'd begun to realize that what she'd been looking for all along was already here. She talked about, she's been talking from the beginning about wanting to find herself. She said, it's like she didn't feel that she was herself. And she realized after the meltdown that she was already herself. Herself is already here. And she said to me, Sarah, is it really possible that it's so easy? It doesn't feel right for it to be so easy. I feel like I need to have to process things and work really hard and look for the solution. But what I experienced is that the solution is already here. And I talked to somebody else yesterday, and I was teaching her how to communicate with her higher self. And one of the things she said she wanted was some more resources and some help for her business. And so I got her to ask her higher self about that. And her higher self immediately pointed out, well, I've already given you that. And she remembered a conversation she had where she totally by chance found herself in conversation with a guy who had so many connections for her business. He was really, really influential in her industry. And she'd had 20 minutes to chatter away to him about what she does before she even discovered who he was. And her higher self just kind of pointed her towards that and said, hey, look, you've already got that. I've already done it. And that's a really good example. She was sitting there thinking, I need all this help. I need to meet these people. She'd already met somebody who'd said he would introduce her to some really key people who could help her with what she wants. And yet there's this habit of feeling that we're looking for something more, rather than a habit of enjoying what we've got while we look for something more. So it's not that we're not looking for more. Of course, there's always more coming. But can you enjoy what you already have, as well as being open to what's coming? That's really the art, is to be able to enjoy what you already have. This is where it's so easy to get lost. It's so easy to get lost in your goals. Your goals are what you don't have. And if you measure yourself by your goals, you will always measure yourself by what you don't have. And you will always, always feel dissatisfied with what you have. Far more effective is to have a goal, which is somewhere that you're going. It's not what you don't have, it's the direction you're going. That's a very different kind of goal. And to appreciate what you already have, because you've already achieved that, you've already reached that, you already have it to enjoy. You already have some money in your life. Enjoy it, appreciate it. You already have somewhere to live. You already have people around you, resources, all kinds of opportunity in your life. Appreciate and enjoy that for what it is. And stay open to the fact that you are going somewhere, growing somewhere, that your life is changing and moving forward and advancing and going to a place you've never been to before and going to a better place than you've ever been before. So you can enjoy the prospect of that. You can enjoy trusting, the trust that that brings you when you know that life is evolving and advancing, and therefore, however it looks right now, it is actually getting better. There, you can enjoy that sense of moving forward in your life. You can enjoy the thought or the feeling of what it might be to reach that goal. And so you can connect with how it would be to be there. That's a very enjoyable feeling. But if you connect with the fact that you're not there yet, that's what causes, especially business people, the most pain. They're always measuring themselves against their goals, and therefore they're always falling short. But if you think about it, once you reach the goal, you'll have another one to fall short against. So the whole point about having a goal is that you fall short against it. If you've achieved it, it's not your goal anymore. So if you want to have goals that give you direction and things that you'd like to achieve, Do not measure yourself against your failure to be at the goal. The goal is not a place you're supposed to be at. It's a place that you're moving towards. You have chosen to move towards that place. You don't have to. You can choose a different one if you want to. But a goal is not something to make you unhappy. A goal is something simply to give you the enjoyment and the challenge of achievement, because it makes you feel good. It's all about feeling good. And that's why you can enjoy the process. If you know that that goal is just somewhere that you specifically haven't achieved yet, you're not even supposed to have achieved yet, then you can enjoy the process. You can enjoy each of the steps that you reach. You can appreciate, I did that today. That can give you some enjoyment. Or, far more powerful, you can enjoy because you've decided to enjoy. You can enjoy because enjoyment is a better way than not enjoying. Enjoying what you're doing is better than not enjoying what you're doing. Enjoying where you are is better than not enjoying where you are. You can decide where you pay attention, and you can really get pulled down by paying attention to the stuff that's not at the standard that you'd really like it to be. But if you get too caught up in all of that, you spend your whole time looking for a better place. You never actually get to enjoy anything that you're doing. So sometimes we need to just say, I am where I am, and I'm going to enjoy this simply because. Simply because enjoying is better than not enjoying. And there's always something that I can enjoy. There's always something that's interesting. There's always something good. And there's always something that I can do. There's always the opportunity for me to feel good. And if my circumstances are really terrible, maybe something awful is going on in your life, or you've landed in a situation that you never, ever wanted to be in. That does happen sometimes. You can, if you choose to, decide to make the most of it. You can decide to do whatever you need to do in that situation with excellence and with love and with care and with attention. You can decide to really engage with where you are and with solving the awful problem that you're facing, instead of feeling cast down by it and feeling disappointed and miserable about it. And it makes the most extraordinary difference. So, for example, let's say someone in your life is very sick and it's a very difficult situation to be in. If you really engage in the way that's appropriate for you. So for me, I would really engage in healing and in supporting that person. Not engage in, I want that person to understand things the same way as I do, because that's going to lead me to disappointment and probably a great deal of not enjoyment, because very often people don't believe the things that I do. And they don't know how to, and they may be afraid, or they may not trust, or they may not be interested. And it can lead to so much frustration and disappointment. And I've been there many, many times. But what I found was the solution to that was to really engage at a much deeper level, to really listen to the other person, really engage with what I want to experience. So maybe I want to experience their healing. And so I can engage with that. I can engage with what I want, even if what they want appears to be something different. And I find that very challenging situations give me a real opportunity to grow my own skills and grow my own ability. And actually, if I play it that way, if I really engage and really bring out the love as well, because love obviously is very important. Something that potentially would be traumatic and terrible actually becomes interesting and in a strange kind of way enjoyable. Not enjoyable in the fact that, I'm really enjoying the fact that this person who's very close to me is sick, but enjoyable in the sense that what I'm doing is something that gives me great enjoyment. So healing, connecting deeply with a situation, listening deeply to somebody who's having a difficult time. These are activities that are in themselves profoundly enjoyable. They connect you with a kind of energy that we don't usually connect with when our life is feeling kind of okay, when everything's going okay. They bring out the absolute best in you. They call you to love at a level that you don't normally. And when that's what you're feeling, you can't help enjoying. It's just such a beautiful feeling. And then you realize that it's only when you get caught in the drama of what's going on, when you get caught in the what's wrong, what's no good, what I'm afraid of, what everyone else is afraid of, when you get caught in that, you don't enjoy. But when you get caught in the healing and the beauty and the perfection of the situation, the incredible playing out of energy, that's often what I observe. I look at the person, I know them, I can see the patterns playing out, and it's fascinating. And then I look at how can I support that person to find what it is that they want to experience, which is always something better. They always want to be healthy, or they always want to solve the problem. It's always something good that they're looking for. And all of those positions, inner positions in me, feel so good. They feel amazing. And so I can feel absolutely amazing in the middle of somebody else being in a great apparent tragedy in their life, because I tune into an energy that is profoundly supportive to the other person and feels great to me. And, perhaps when I describe it that way, you can see that it's not immoral. Sometimes people say, well, it doesn't feel right to enjoy somebody else's misfortune. I'm not enjoying their misfortune. I'm enjoying my experience in that misfortune. I'm enjoying healing. I'm enjoying love. I'm enjoying really doing my best. I'm enjoying deep, profound engagement. I'm enjoying consciousness, being really, really conscious. I'm enjoying the awareness that I'm experiencing from observing and being part of the whole situation. So I'm enjoying a lot of new energy, because when there's a big challenge, it calls us to connect very deeply and to bring in far more new energy than we would if we were doing something smaller. And so if you are in a challenging situation, enjoyment is absolutely appropriate. And if you're in a more ordinary situation where you can just be a little bit dissatisfied with things, enjoyment is super appropriate, because it brings you a much better situation, and it brings you into a life that's more alive and more lively. And that will give you more enjoyment. It will make you feel better still.